Hello and welcome to our channel. I know we've had a very long break from our video tutorials here on Anna Marie Designs YouTube channel, but here I am with another project, another tutorial for you, and I hope you will enjoy it. Before we start, let me just tell you what I will be using. I've got this beautiful color combination for you, which is the mauve from a Blissful card collection, and what I will be using from that collection is the Crackle card and the dots card. Now obviously we've got 4 different ones within that selection, like Script and Roses, but in this tutorial these are the 2 that I will be using mainly. Now on top of that, I actually have cut out these beautiful birds from our Garden Bloom collection, and some of you may know that, and I thought that would make a nice delicate touch right at the end after I finished all the bits and pieces. I also have Garden Dottiloo flowers cut out from Dottiloo die collection. I also have hibiscus leaves die cut only in white, so if needs be, we change the color. Then I have flower sprigs die cut in Crackle card and also in olive green pearl card. Then I have a happy birthday die cut out in a Crackle Blissful card. The leftover from the birds, when I was cutting them out, I sort of kept it and prepared it for my little border. We'll see how we get on with this card collection, because really I haven't got one to show you what I will be reproducing. So everything that I kind of prepared and put together, it's just basically free work. And last thing that I've also pre-prepared is 2 layers of nested butterflies. Now you will see that one is slightly slimmer than the other, and that's because obviously they are nested butterflies, so you can actually maneuver and choose how thick you want the borders to be. So that's pretty much it, and now we can actually start creating this card. Now I have a Mont Blanc blank card and I'm making 18 square. I've also pre-prepared my mauve layer in Crackle, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cut myself, or tear as a matter of fact, another layer slightly smaller than my original base layer. So once you give yourself your larger one, it's actually fairly easy to do the second one. And here I am. So I've got 2 layers in the same color. Now, I also have slightly larger borders, and you will probably seen the dotty card, which I literally use my pair of scissors to follow the pattern of the dots. So very, very easy. Obviously, if you're going to do something like this, you just allow your scissors to take you in between the dots. And voila, we have a border. So we have 2 borders, and we can incorporate them into our project as well. So now I will start assembling the main parts of my card, and for this I'm just going to use a strip of the super strong card, and then I'm going to add some glue. But before we do that, I also wanted to edge my layer using some black ink pad, and you can use a distress ink pad or any ink pad that you like, of course, but it would be nice to create a little edge. Now I will also assemble my Dottiloo flower, and obviously the way I sort of do a lot of my flowers is actually squeeze them between my two fingers, so you can do that. So we're just going to create two different flowers. So the large one, we're going to just squeeze the petal in between two of your fingers. Very easy to do. Now, because you also you can see that on the crackle pattern here, we've got a little bit of the white showing, obviously, because it's a crackle card. If you wish, you can actually bring a little bit of mauve using your ink pads or using your perhaps pro markers or any other pens that you might have, just to add a little bit. They actually blend in very nicely on the crackle card, so you can see there is not rough edges or anything like that, and that will give you, that would be my top layer, so you can see that it does make a huge difference. Now the second flower we're going to do it slightly differently, because this time I'm actually going to raise my petals like so. So yes, you can use a bone folder for this, or you can just simply use your fingers to create raised petals. It's very easy to do. You can see they are all raised now. Now obviously they might actually spread a little bit, so in order for you to actually secure that they won't spread too much, you can actually squeeze them a little bit more here, and we're just going to do the same. So you can see how differently they both look. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm just going to assemble this flower as well. Right, the same pattern for the flower, but two different flowers. Now we also have the small size, because the Dottiloo comes in 3 different sizes. So we can actually choose what we want to do. And for this particular card, I'm actually going to do the second version of my flower. Now I also have white flowers here, and that's obviously, in the meantime, as I'm assembling the card, I will be able to tell whether I'd like to add some white flower or not. And even if you have the quality card, like Mont Blanc card that we sell, or super smooth card for die cutting that we do sell as well, I mean, that enables you to very easily and very quickly add the color that you may want to add. So this is a Mont Blanc card, and you can see, using just the pro marker, what a nice crisp purple I'm having. Right, so at least we have an option. But I wanted you to see that, obviously, how beautiful that looks. Fabulous. So now we can start assembling my base. So now I'm just inking up a few of the borders that I might use, and that is going to be again following the same color, the same pattern, mauve in Blissful. I've got this beautiful dots border, and I'm also going to edge a little bit. And I'm going to add just a strip of strong tape . So I'm just going to start assembling my different borders, and this is just the waist, of course. Now, because I'm going to be using these beautiful birds that I showed you right at the beginning, they do come from the Garden Bloom paper pads, which I also mentioned. I'm going to use this strip as well for my border for this card. I think it just brings nice dimension. So now we have quite a few layers, lovely border, a lot of dimension. We can obviously raise other things and more things up when we are done. But for now, we can start obviously put together the arrangement. So I've got this beautiful black, obviously, flower, and I've got another one, and I've got this one, lovely. And now we need obviously the twigs, leaves, and so on. Right, so with regards to the hibiscus leaves, I think they're so beautiful, and I've got 3 of them, but only in white. So yes, I can obviously color them completely and solidly using green ink pad, or I can just slightly tint my leaves, leaving some of the white showing. And this is what we're going to go for. So I've got 3 beautiful leaves, and now I'm going to start putting everything together. Because I haven't got my glue gun at this point, what I am going to do, I'm going to use a strong double-sided tape just in places, and this is a good way of actually securing your arrangements, that obviously you don't want them to go anywhere. And of course the PVA glue sometimes takes a little bit longer to dry. So if I am going to use 2 adhesives again, I know that I should be pretty much okay with my next arrangement. Right, so now we're just going to add like some glue. And this is the Creative Glue, which is just the PVA, but very good quality PVA. And also I'm going to add some natural fiber, which natural fiber, if you're not familiar with this, doesn't need to be stuck on flat. In fact, the bouncier, the better. And obviously now when I bring my flower onto my project, that will be absolutely fine and secured. So my flower goes first. Now I'm just going to use the flower sprigs. Now I'm just going to bring my butterfly, which I like to lock in behind my flower. And in order for me to do that, I can do one butterfly at a time, or I can try to do them 2 layers at the same time. Right, but because they are nested, you can actually stick one to the bottom one, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right, so this PVA glue is actually quite good. It dries fairly quickly, so you can see now I can proceed with actually pushing in or pushing through my butterfly to the back of my arrangement, and literally that flower should secure my butterfly. Right, okay, so wasn't that easy? My butterfly sticks right exactly in the right direction, facing my message that will come shortly. Now, if you want to lift one layer of your nested butterfly, obviously you can do that, just so you can create more dimension, right? And we are ready to go to our next stage. So I'm going to add these leaves now. Now, because I only have one of these flowers, I can, instead of using it as one, which is obviously very nice, I can actually try to turn it and use it as a bud. Just a single tacking in bud. Now, because that looks very nice, but obviously now I think I could do with another little one. I'm just going to colour my small white Dotterloo flower as well. Right, so I've got another little bud. Now, if you wanted it permanently stuck on, like tight, now you can use, obviously, the PVA glue, but of course you're going to have to wait for the PVA glue to dry a little bit longer. However, you can use the double-sided tape and just very carefully, after you remove the backing of the tape, just make sure you keep it nice and tight. So we've got this little bud, and of course you're not going to see the double-sided tape, which isn't the most pleasant. But now obviously we can secure it with a glue and just pop it inside here. There you go. So we've got another little bud of flowers. Now this is how easy it is to bring different color to your flower arrangement, even though we do have a nested butterfly here, but it is very, very nice. Now one other thing I also have, this is something that I had for different sort of craft, but I decided to apply the old white, ceramic effect. Ceramic effect, as some of you will know, you can apply onto literally anything, and that includes cotton. Now, but what that also gave me, it gave me a sort of base to bring different color to it. Now, obviously I'm going with the purple, and I've already reapplied some color onto it, but if you wanted to highlight the color that you're really going for, and in this case is the color of the Pro marker that I've used for my buds, you obviously color that in. Right, and this is going to be inside of my flower. Now, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, a glue gun would have been absolutely best solution for this. But because I haven't got a glue gun, I just have to curve it a little bit more in order for this beautiful arrangement to sit inside of my flower. Now, this is actually a good exercise because sometimes you just simply don't have all the tools in hand. And then you just have to come up with a different plan. So this is an option. So anything you like to upcycle will be fabulous. Right. I'm just going to have to be patient and patiently pressing down on my arrangement, and in the meantime I'm going to stick right. So now we have happy birthday message, and it's just such a beautiful font, nice beautiful straight line. You don't need too much glue. But if you do have a straight edge of any waste, any card, you may want to use this as your palette knife. So that way you won't have too much glue showing. And I am going to stick this absolutely straight. Fab. Now, so I'm coming towards the end of this project, but obviously I wanted to show you that I also have these couple of strips from my Garden Bloom pads where I've just literally cut out these beautiful birds. So obviously we've got a little bit of black, and it's a beautiful border and it's a beautiful shade, and I just thought would be great, it would be absolutely great if I use some of these to create an additional dimension behind some of my layers. Now, I absolutely love not wasting things. But a lot of the time, all these little bits and pieces that actually can change, not only change and transform, but actually improve your project. And you literally, all you need to do is just look around what you've got on the table. Okay, oh, okay, what else can I do? What else can I use? So just a small little curved circles, if you like. And we're just going to right, so those few little bits and pieces can be used, and now I'm just going to stick this couple of birdies. Now, I don't really want my bird to be stuck on flat, so I'm just going to give myself a little flat base for him to be actually bouncing just ever so slightly. He's there, but he's not too visible. We have a butterfly, and we're also going to pop this beautiful bird behind my leaf. Well, so I am done with my video tutorial. I hope you enjoy this project, and I hope to see you back here again, hopefully with a brand new video tutorial and not in a very distant future. Thank you. Bye-bye.